This is BMAT 2021, Section 2, Question 9. So we're told that a mature active human cell has the following features: a cell membrane, no nuclear DNA, and molecules that bind oxygen. And we have some statements, so we need to work out which ones are correct. But before we look at those statements, let's try and figure out what this cell might be. So we have a cell membrane, which is pretty obvious. I think most, if in fact all cells in the human body have a cell membrane. So it's really these two things. So it has no nuclear DNA and then it can bind oxygen is the two main defining features of the cell. So what cell in the body might this be? So binding oxygen is probably the biggest hint. There's going to be a red blood cell. Red blood cells don't have a nucleus, so they can fit more space for carrying oxygen. And they do in fact bind oxygen. So we're looking at a red blood cell. So let's look at the statements and see if we can relate them to our red blood cell. So first of all, is it transported by a solution? What might this solution be? Well, it's a red blood cell. It's going to be carried by the blood plasma. So yes, it is transported by a solution. Number 2 is that it releases oxygen into active tissues. So does a red blood cell release the oxygen into those tissues? Well, yes, if they're active, they're going to need a lot more oxygen to respire. So it does transport our oxygen for that respiration. We can tick that one off as well. And finally, does it release energy from its own mitochondria? So do the red blood cells actually have mitochondria, first of all? We know it doesn't have a nucleus. What about the mitochondria? Well, no, they don't actually have any mitochondria. They don't need any energy processes. They just need to be able to bind oxygen and release it. So we know that's incorrect. Therefore, only 1 and 2 are correct, so our final answer must be answer E.